France came into the 2026 Six Nations as the defending champs, and their first match against Ireland was a brutal warning shot. They won 36-14 at the Stade de France, and honestly, the scoreline flatters Ireland. At halftime, it was a jaw-dropping 29-0. This wasn't a win, it was a demolition. And right in the middle of it all was the maestro himself, Antoine Dupont, back in the saddle after a 9-month injury layoff. You have to remember the hype around this guy. Rival coaches like Andy Farrell have flat out called him the best player in the world. His peers, like Jamie George, say he's the best of his generation. He's the only player ever to be named World Rugby Player of the Year in both 15s and 7s rugby, and he's tied Brian O'Driscoll with 3 Six Nations Player of the Championship awards. The hype is very, very real. But does it tell the whole story? Is Antoine Dupont the best rugby player on the planet? Many would say yes. Many believe he's the single reason for France's recent Six Nations dominance. But is it really that simple? When France demolished Ireland, we all saw Dupont's individual brilliance. But we also saw a French machine that was just ruthless. So let's break down the key moments from that game to figure out if one man is truly conquering European rugby, or if the secret to France's success is something else entirely. When you watch Dupont play, you see things no one else can do. Against Ireland, in the pouring rain, he put on a clinic. He was responsible for 18 of France's 39 kicks, playing the territory game like a grandmaster. But it's those flashes of pure magic that really define him. Take the build up to Louis Bielle-Biarrey's second try. It all starts with Dupont on defense, where he cleanly rips the ball away from his opal array from his opposite number, Jamison Gibson Park. In a split second, he turns defense into a full-blown attack. A few phases later, who is it that puts up a perfectly weighted chip kick into space? Dupont, of course. Bielle-Biarrey collects it and scores. That's not just one skill. That's seeing the game 3 moves ahead of everyone else on the field. And then there was the flair. That little flick, behind the back pass that kept an attack breathing. It's the quiet confidence of a player at the absolute peak of his game. When you see stuff like that, it's easy to think he's a one-man army. Caelan Doris said tackling him was like trying to grab a little fish. Okay, but hold on. Calling this the Dupont show does a massive disservice to the blue-shirted giants surrounding him. This French victory wasn't just built on magic, it was built on pure, overwhelming force. The stats from the Ireland game tell a very different story. The top ball carrier on the pitch, it wasn't Dupont, it was the massive lock, Michael Guillard, who had a monster game with 16 carries, constantly getting France on the front foot. The fly half, Mathieu Jalibert, worked in perfect sync with Dupont, managing the game beautifully. And France's 5 tries? They came from 4 different players, with Jalibert, Charles Ollivon, and Theo Atisogby joining bielle-Biarrey's 2 scores. Coach Fabien Galthiec called it one of their most precise attacking games ever, and you can see why. The French forward pack, with guys like Jean-Baptiste Gros and François Croze, simply owned the collision. France made 19 clean breaks, Ireland only had 5. They forced Ireland into missing 42 tackles. That isn't one man's work. That's a system firing on all cylinders. France has created a talent factory that pumps out players with power and skill in every single position. This French team seems to have found the perfect sweet spot between disciplined structure and wild, individual brilliance. If you're enjoying this breakdown, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our analysis during the rest of the Six Nations. So, is it Dupont or the rest of France that truly dominates the Six Nations? The real answer is, it's both. Think of it this way. Dupont is the catalyst. He's the spark that ignites the whole bonfire. He's the conductor of this beautiful, brutal orchestra. But what's a conductor without their instruments? That French forward pack is the thunderous percussion section, providing the platform for everything. The backline, with lethal finishers like Bielle-Biarrey and Damien Pennell, until recently being dropped, provides the killer solos. But there's no shortage of additional finishers. The system Gaultier built is designed to get the most out of this incredible depth of talent. France's dominance isn't one guy dragging his team to a win. It's a generational player taking an already incredible team and making them almost unbeatable. He's the one who turns their 8 out of 10 performances into a 9.5. France's 36-14 dismantling of Ireland was more than a win. It was a warning to the entire rugby world. They have the power of a team and the magic of an individual. England looks like a strong challenger, and Italy's shock win over Scotland was incredible. But it feels like the road to the 2026 title runs straight through Paris. France has the home field advantage and the cool confidence of a team that knows exactly how good it is. But what do you think? Is this French team the most dominant we've seen in the Six Nations era? And is there anyone out there who can actually stop them from winning their second straight title? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for watching.